In this tutorial, we'll learn how to add captions to our images in Photoshop or how to do it in Adobe Bridge. You can use both programs to add captions. Adding captions in Photoshop is fairly straightforward. The first thing we need to do is to go up to the File menu and scroll down to the File Info option. Or you can use the keyboard shortcut by pushing the Option, Shift, Command, and I keys to bring up the dialog box. It'll open this window, and as you can see, I've already added the caption and keyword information for this particular image. But where you want to add the caption is in this box that says Description. As I mentioned in class, it can be a little hard to see what you're doing and type into this box. So you may want to actually type your captions in a word processing program, do your spelling and grammar checks, and then copy and paste it into the description box. I've also added several keywords to help me locate this photo later should I need to. Things like Eureka Police Department, that it was an officer-involved shooting, and the name of the suspected homicide person that was shot by district attorney's officers. This will help me find this photo in the future and speed up my search process by allowing me to search just the keywords and not the actual file name. Once I'm done entering the information I need, I just need to click OK and then save this photo as a JPEG in my Edits folder, and my caption will be stored. We can also use Adobe Bridge to store captions. And it does offer some advantages in that we can add information to multiple images at one time. And using Adobe Bridge, we can add captions to either our camera raw files or our JPEGs, rather than just the file we're working on in Photoshop. When you use Bridge to add captions to your raw files, it isn't actually being stored in that raw image file. It gets stored in the XMP file. So if you do move your camera raw file that you've captioned and haven't saved it as a JPEG, you'll have to select images that you've added captions to in Bridge, and then use the either move to or the copy to options to actually copy the raw files and the corresponding XMP files to a new location. If you don't do that and you don't copy the XMP file, when you go to open up the camera raw file, your caption information will be gone. As I mentioned, one advantage Bridge has over Photoshop for captioning is that you can add information to multiple images. All 4 of these images are from the Humboldt Folklife Festival in Blue Lake. It was the 37th annual event. I can quickly add that little bit of information to all of these images so that when I go to do the individual captions, all I have to add is the information that's pertinent. So the way I do that is to select multiple images. I've already selected the first one. I'm going to hold down the Shift key and click on this last image in the set. And now, if I use that keyboard shortcut, it's the same in Photoshop as in Bridge of Command, Option, Shift, and the letter I. It will pull up the XMP editor so we can add some information. You'll notice here it says multiple values. I've already added information to this and I've removed the captions, but you can ignore that for now. Where I need to add my caption again is this description box here. So what I want to add is the information that applies to all of these images, which is that this happened on Saturday during the 37th Annual Folklife Festival in Blue Lake. I'm just going to copy and paste that from a text document. You'll notice that a check mark has appeared next to the description box. Now, that means that it's going to apply this change to all of the images that are selected. So if I hit OK, all of those images will now have in their description on Saturday during the 37th Annual Folklife Festival in Blue Lake. Now I want to add the information that pertains just to the photos of the girl with the hula hoop. So I'm going to hold down the Command key and click on this image here to unselect it. Then use the keyboard shortcut again to bring up the XMP editor. And I'm going to add the information that is pertinent to the hula hooper, which is her name and that she rode her bike and that she's, hula hooping in the street. So I can just click in here in front of what the information I've already added. So I'm going to go ahead and paste it in from another document. And it'll bring this up here that shows that this is what's been added. But what I need to do is go up here and make sure that I add a space between the street and on Saturday so that my sentence is, correct. Again, the checkbox is automatically selected for me. I hit OK, and now that group of photos will have the captions in them. So now I want to add the information to my last photo here. I'm going to click on it to select it and make it active. I'm going to bring up the XMP editor. And again, I'm going to copy and paste from another document. So I'm just going to select that in my other document, copy it, and I'm going to add it in front of the on. So if I click in here and get the cursor position in front of on. If I add a space and then back the cursor up one, when I hit paste, it should actually leave the space in there for me. So hit Command V to paste that in. And as you can see, now the caption is complete. There's the space between the guy's name and on Saturday. I can hit OK, and now this photo will also have a complete caption.